Sports Explained. If you are here for the first time, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also hit the notification bell so that whenever we upload a new video, you are notified. In this video, we're talking about Kenya oil. We'll be asking a question: how will Kenya move its oil? Is it through the rail, pipeline, or regional export? So here we explain the options. For more than a decade, Kenya's oil has remained trapped underground in Turkana, discovered, celebrated, but never truly commercialized. Now, with Gulf Energy stepping in after Tullow's exit, the country is once again facing the same hard question: how exactly will Kenya oil reach the world market? Three options are on the table: a long crude pipeline to the coast, a new railway link tying Turkana into Kenya's existing rail network (MGR), metre-gauge railway, or a regional workaround through neighboring countries. Each promises opportunity, each carries real risk, and the choice Kenya makes will shape not just the oil revenues but debt levels, infrastructure policy, as well as public trust. Let's start with the first option, which is the rail plan. Building the missing link. Use what already exists. This is what the option offers. Gulf Energy current proposal is straightforward on paper. Start production by moving oil on trucks, then shift crude onto rail once the new Lokichar Kitale railway span is completed. Kenya already has a continuous metre-gauge railway corridor from Kitale through Eldoret, Nakuru, Nairobi, all the way to Mombasa port. What does not exist is the connection from the oil fields to the rail network. That missing link is roughly 300 kilometers. Build it, rehabilitate the stretches of the existing line that would carry heavy crude tankers, and Kenya gains a direct route from Turkana to the Indian Ocean. Once on course, the government has not published the final figure, but based on regional metre-gauge construction benchmark, a 300 kilometers freight-focused line would likely fall in the range of 240 million to 600 million US dollars before adding the cost of refurbishing all rail segment, building storage deposit and at Lokichar, and also constructing specialized crude handling terminals at Mombasa. Even with those extras, rail is still far much cheaper than when you consider the pipeline option. The upside is clear: lower initial capital, faster path to the export zone, a rail line that could also carry farm produce, fuel, fertilizer, and cargo into Turkana, cheaper and safer than road once it is running. The risks are just clear. Gulf is not building the railway. The state would have to fund it, guarantee it, and also deliver it on time. If that stalls, the project will be stuck on expensive, dangerous, long-hauling truck, a model no serious producer want to rely on long term. The second option is the pipeline. Clean, costly, but long delayed option. For years, the vision was a heated crude oil pipeline from Lokichar to Lamu, roughly 800 to 900 kilometers long. It would move oil directly to the coast, bypassing rail, bypassing trucks, and offering cheapest per barrel transport at scale. But it comes with a massive price tag. Realistic estimates range from 1.5 to over 3 billion US dollars, depending on the final routing, security systems, pumping stations, and also complexity of the heating works crude along the entire line. Pipelines also come with serious challenges: land compensation, environmental approvals, security risks, and also access to remote regions and lender confidence in high-risk commodity market. In theory, the pipeline is the most efficient solution. In reality, after years of study and foresight, no financier has stepped forward to write a check at that scale. That's why Gulf Energy is now taking rail instead of pipes. Can Kenya use Uganda Tanzania oil pipeline instead? The EACOP. Some have asked whether Kenya could plug in Uganda's East African crude oil pipeline EACOP, which runs from Hoima to Tanzania port of Tanga. It is 1,443 kilometers heated pipeline costing $3.5 billion. Technically, connecting Turkana to EACOP would require building a long cross-border pipeline or hauling crude across two countries by road and rail before injecting it to another export system that introduces transit fees, diplomatic risks, shared control over tariffs, and also logistical complications. From a pure commercial standpoint, it makes little sense for Kenya unless extraordinary regional financing and political guarantees emerged. Today, that option remains speculative at best. Then the quieter reality, the tracking coming first. Behind all big ideas is a quieter truth. The first barrel of Kenya oil will move by road, that is guaranteed. This is the first way to begin production while larger infrastructure decisions are being negotiated. But tracking is expensive per barrel, hard on roads, risky for spills, and also unpopular with communities along the transport corridors. It's a starter solution, not a foundation for national export industry. The real decision Kenya faces. This is no longer just an engineering debate, it's a strategic choice. Rail offers speed and affordability but depends entirely on government execution. The pipeline offers long-term efficiency but demands massive debt and investment confidence. Kenya has struggled to secure regional export routes, dilute national control, and also add political risk. What makes this movement different is that Kenya can no longer afford another decade of planning without execution. Turkana residents have waited, investors have waited, the country has waited. In conclusion, we can say that the infrastructure debate will decide whether Kenya becomes an oil exporter or a case study in delay. Kenya does not lack oil. It does not lack ideas. What it has lacked so far is decisive, disciplined delivery. The railroad offers is not perfect, but it's a realistic one. A 300-kilometer rail line link to Kitale, backed by rehabilitation to Mombasa and proper export terminals, could finally move oil at a cost the country can manage. The pipeline remains a gold standard, but only on paper, until someone is willing to fund it. What now matters is not which option sounds most impressive. What matters is which option actually gets built on time without drowning the country into debt or locking into endless tracking. Kenya oil will only become wealth when steel hits the road or ground, not when the plants hit the podium. So thank you for reaching this far. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing to this channel. Also hit the notification bell so that whenever you upload a new video, you are notified. You can watch other videos that we have done on this type of project, another project. You can also leave your comment, your share, like, and also let's know what you think about what option Kenya should select in terms of moving its oil to the export market. Thank you.